Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, after a kind neighbor stables her horse during an emergency, this Choosing Beggar horse owner demands they cover her horse's ongoing vet bills. Let's jump right in. To start off, I grew up on a ranch and always had horses to take care of. I love horses a lot, and I'm willing to take them in when in need, and often had old or abused horses that we were helping get better, or horses that people could no longer properly care for. Now in the story, the cast is me, the Choosing Beggar, my mom, and my stepdad. To set the scene, the towns around me were flooding really bad and most people were losing their fields and barns for horses. We thought, what better way to help than to offer free boarding for horses that were gonna be stuck in standing water. We were gonna pay everything out of pocket to help local people in need with their horses. We got a few calls and we went out and got the horses and brought them back and had our vet check them. All is good. After the floods clear up and the horses are reclaimed by their owners, we have one last horse still here. The owner asks if we can bring the horse to them. Of course we can. We transport the horse to them and I still remember him. He was this beautiful Tobiano brown and white paint named Mac. We drop Mac off to the Choosing Beggar with a full sack of feed and some extra things that we paid for, and Choosing Beggar was happy to have her horse back. We left and didn't hear from her for a while. One day, she called us to tell us that Mac had eaten hay that was cattle grade, meaning it could cause a horse to colic, which is very bad. She told us that when the vet came to look at him, it turned out Mac had been eating blister beetles, which are even worse for horses than the cattle grade hay. Mac had been sick for many days before she called the vet because she couldn't afford the vet bill and was asking us to pay for the vet. We told her that we were already overloaded with horses ourselves and couldn't pay for a vet because we had no extra money to spare. She said that if Mac died, it would be our fault. That wasn't true because her vet had a payment plan for her if she needed it, but she just didn't want to pay the vet. She then calls us back to tell us that the vet is calling the sheriff's department on her because of how bad Mac's condition is and that she would be going to jail. She then started demanding again that we pay the vet because it's our fault she's now going to jail. The vet bill was almost $4,000, and there was no way we could have paid it with all the other horses that we take care of. She told us she was going to jail because Mac wasn't going to make it. He was laying down and could barely move, which hurt us to hear. She then said that we should go to jail because we let Mac die, and that we have so many horses that you can see ribs on. Again, we rescue horses, and we do have a few very old horses. The one horse she was talking about was a 35-year-old mare, who we had brought in because her owner could no longer care for her. The sheriff's department really did come out after she told them that we were abusing horses. They took a look around and told us that we were fine, and they left. I am sad to say that Mac died because she didn't want to call the vet a few days earlier. She really did go to jail. We ended up taking the other horse she bought because she had no one else to care for him. Story 2 shows us a Choosing Beggar sister-in-law who wants free cover art for her books. My sister-in-law is an aspiring author and has been working on a full book series for a few years now. She plans to self-publish and has been having a hard time deciding on what her book covers will look like since she doesn't want blank covers. I'm an artist by hobby and would like to make it my main means of income eventually. I'm not a known artist by any means, honestly, and my sister-in-law knows that I'm working on getting my art out there. So she approached me about making the art for her book covers and started playing up how it's going to get my art attention. Initially, I was interested, but when I mentioned payment for my work, she wouldn't talk about it and started saying that we can work something out later. She won't even name what she would be willing to pay, and I told her unless she's paying me, she's not getting my art. She's also started watching me as I draw and makes a notably disgusted face when I put my artist's signature on the piece. She eventually brought up the topic of me supplying her cover art again and specifically asked that I not put my signature on the pieces. I reminded her that I hadn't even agreed to do her covers and asked why she didn't want my watermark on the pieces. She said it was ugly and took the focus off her book title and her own name. So I asked that if I did the work, would I be paid and credited for the cover work? She got upset and said I'm being greedy and should just help her because we're family and that she gets free art from her friends all the time. I told her to get her free art from her friends then. I will not be working for free. My sister-in-law stormed off to her room after that, and now her friends on Facebook have been calling me a butt for not being willing to help a beginner author make a good-looking book. It briefly made me second-guess my decision to not supply the art for her books, but after thinking it over and getting other opinions, I'm standing firm on my decision not to supply any art for her books. In story number 3, we have a choosing beggar with a family of 5 who even during this quarantine refuses store-brand groceries. I am fuming right now. I'm currently stationed in a country with high levels of poverty, and I'm lucky enough to be in a better position than most people, so I'm trying to do my part. As the quarantine continues, more and more people are going to the streets asking for money and food as they're losing their jobs and don't have savings to rely on. The local semi-fancy supermarket is now offering grocery bags with store-brand essential products, rice, flour, beans, etc., at a discount price so their clients can buy them and give them away to people in need. You can either leave it at the store so they can donate it, or you can bring it with you. The few times I've had to go get groceries, I've bought some of these bags. Today, more than 10 feet away from the supermarket entrance, there was a family of 5, mom, dad, grandma, and 2 kids. So I went over and offered one of the grocery bags, and the following happened. We're a family of 5. I can see that. There's not enough food in there for all of us. Well, that's all I'm able to give. Bull stuff. You have at least 2 other bags in there. Again, this is all I can give you. Don't be cheap. I've seen those bags and everything in there is store brand, so it wasn't expensive. Well, in that case, get in there and get the products you and your family need from whatever brand you like. There's plenty of things to choose from. Are you giving me money to do so? Huh? So? I honestly hope you find someone who's willing to offer you enough food for you to feed your family. I was so pissed that I just got in my car and went home. So now I have 4 grocery bags full of food at home. Hopefully, I won't find any choosing beggars tomorrow when I take my dogs for a walk. In story number 4, we have a literal choosing beggar. I used to work for a non-profit. We helped people with housing issues, so helping them with overdue rent, or if they were being evicted, we represented them at court, and debt issues or debt management in the biggest city near my town, and I enjoyed helping those less fortunate when I could. My bus took me to the bus depot, and I would get my lunch and a tea or hot chocolate here in the morning for the walk to work. One morning, I went outside the main doors to have a cigarette before I got my lunch, and there was a man outside begging passers-by for money for a coffee. I didn't go past him, but I heard what he is asking for, which was clearly a coffee. When I went to get my lunch, I also got an extra coffee for him and 2 extra sandwiches, 1 cheese and 1 ham, in case he was a vegetarian or something. But when I went outside, he was gone. I had some time, so I headed over to the main precinct of the city, since I knew a lot of hard-done-by people hung out round there, and I could help them out. As I went over there, I saw him again, and this is the conversation that followed. Hey man, I saw you outside the bus station. I got these for you, and I held out the coffee and sandwiches. What is it? The coffee you asked for, and also a sandwich if you wanted it. I never asked for it. Oh, it's okay. I just overheard and thought I would help you out. I don't want anything for them. Please take them. I wanted money to get tea for my girlfriend. Oh, I'm sure I heard you ask for coffee. No, I have to get tea. Can I have the money? I'm sorry? Just give me the money instead. It's okay if you don't have change. Sorry, I'm not comfortable giving you money. If you don't want the coffee, I'll give it to someone else. Flipping witch. Another homeless guy nearby heard and offered to take it off my hands, so I gave him the coffee and asked which sandwich he preferred, and offered the other to a homeless woman. The dude carried on, complaining about how I wouldn't give him money. I was shocked about this incident all day. I had never encountered a choosing beggar before. In the line of work I was in, people were always grateful for any help they got. In our final story, a choosing beggar whose credit card is stolen then tries to rob the store it was used to buy stuff from. I flipping hate Neiman Marcus. Once I looked at my debit card statement and someone had spent $900 at Neiman Marcus without my knowledge. Must have swiped it on one of those gas station card scammer things. I called my debit card company and they reversed the charges. You'd think Neiman Marcus would still send me the stuff someone else bought for the troubles I had to go through, but no, they didn't. You expected stuff that you neither wanted nor paid for. It was a lot of trouble for me to go through. I thought there might be a consolation prize of sorts. This has been John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.